Hi everyone! This particular video is the second in the series of my mother-in-law's trip to CVS. I did the last one that I did was obviously the first shopping trip where she completely paid with extra care bucks. This is going to be the second trip where she does that. I am going to be, and I did promise quite a few people I would be doing an initial start to CVS couponing, and that will be outlining how you initially go about, doing your first trip there before you start using extra care bucks, and that one is obviously to accumulate the extra care bucks so you can then only spend with them in the coming weeks afterwards. And I will be doing that one, I believe, I want to get it filmed this week, but I hope to get it up by the latest of next week. So definitely look out for that. I know a few of you were asking for me to put that one together, so that starter trip will be, or the idea of how I like to put starter trips together will be up next week for you. So like I said, this is the second trip where my mother-in-law went to CVS and paid with her extra care bucks. This particular shopping trip was not so great, but then I did say that the shopping trip that I did last week was actually probably really a lot better than I would have been able to do when I first started couponing, and that is just because I think we had a lot of deals around Christmas time. She unfortunately didn't get a transaction coupon this week, and therefore we had to kind of go with what she actually did have. So this was a little bit of a loss in terms of extra care bucks, but we did manage to pick up some products that we could obviously get for a lot cheaper. We still got about $20 worth of extra care bucks, so we only spent around $4 I think and 39 cents in extra care bucks. The good thing about it is that this transaction was completely free in terms of real money. The total was completely free. It was 000, so this didn't cost us anything out of pocket in terms of real money. This just was a loss in terms of our extra care bucks. But as long as we don't go too low in terms of extra care bucks, less than $20, we'll be totally fine. And the thing about starting off at CVS is little trips every single week until you build your personalised coupons up, and once you have done that, you will then be able to get a lot more product and obviously get a lot better deals on a lot more product. So don't lose sight, or don't be disheartened if you did a really good trip and then the next week's was pretty bad, because it's still free stuff and it will get better. So yeah, this obviously looked quite small in comparison to my haul, but this one will grow eventually until you pick up the same things that I pick up, so don't get disheartened. And so today I'm going to go through all of the products that she did manage to pick up, the coupons, etc. Some of the deals were very similar to the ones that I carried out. There were a few deals that she just couldn't carry out because she didn't have the personalised coupons, and it was a very personalised coupon specific week this week. If you didn't have personalised coupons to make the deals good, it was probably not beneficial to get them at all. So it was a very, very strange week for me personally. I think just because I didn't have a lot of the personalised coupons that I've seen other people get, so I had to be very selective with the things I picked up as well, and some of the things I picked up were a lot different to the things other people picked up. So the first product that we are going to start with is the Crest Pro Health Advanced. I think I picked up the exact same one in my haul. You probably have to double check for me because I've got so many things on my mind that I've totally forgot which ones I picked up. But these were the Crest Pro Health. These were also the extra gum protection ones, and this was the deal that I would recommend you pick up if you did have that $2 off 2 personalised coupon that printed at the red machine. She did have that one. That was on any toothpaste, but it did say at the very beginning of the coupon that it was on Colgate toothpaste, so don't be thrown off by that. If a coupon says that, or then it says or any other, it means any other. So they're just kind of, I guess they maybe want you to buy Colgate. Maybe that is kind of a deal they've done with a brand, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this is available on any other toothpaste. So Crest applies, and all the other ones apply as well. So yeah, we used the 2 off 2 coupon that she received, and she also used 2 of those $2 P&G coupons from the P&G this week, and those were $2 each, so that was a really high value coupon. These were on sale this week for $2.99, so together that came to a $5.98 running total. The extra care bucks, we weren't getting any on this, and I think that's another thing actually. There was a lot of deals this week where we were getting like a good deal, but we weren't getting any extra care bucks back, and that was kind of annoying because we didn't get many extra care bucks back on this deal, and I don't think in comparison to what I bought, got a lot of extra care bucks back either. So out of pocket, this was actually a 2-cent moneymaker already, and the total was the same because we didn't get any extra care bucks. So this was a 2-cent moneymaker, so of course why not pick it up, right? The next product that we picked up was the soft soap. The soft soap was a deal that I've said time and time again always comes up. So this was for the soft soap. This is the 7.5 ounce hand soap, and you know, it's a deal that probably a lot of us picked up this week just because we all received that $1 instant coupon from CVS. My mother-in-law received that as well. This was a $1.88 product to start with because it was on sale this week, and so we got this for 88 cents. So the running total, $1.88, no extra care bucks again, so the out of pocket and the total was 88 cents for this. That deal happens a lot. I think just to kind of, the way we kind of spun it this week was just spending about $5 worth of extra care bucks just to make up for the fact that we weren't getting a transaction coupon. If you are worried about losing extra care bucks, maybe just skip this week and hope that you get a transaction coupon next week. I just wouldn't recommend not going for a couple of weeks because then you'll probably get no transaction coupons because you haven't been shopping. You'll get less personalised coupons because they haven't been able to track your spending habits, and I think that's not the best way to go if you do it over multiple weeks. So I like to still go now I've been couponing for a while. I still like to go shopping, even if I pick up a few things, because then it keeps the ball rolling for the week after, and then hopefully you can look out the next week and get a good some good deals. So yeah, I got this soft soap. This was 88 cents, and I thought this one was so cute because it's got a little Finding Nemo on it. Well, not Finding Nemo, it's got a little Nemo on it. And like I said in my haul, this particular store that we went to had so many different varieties of soft soap, and I know that's so sad to get excited over that, but I couldn't make my mind up on which ones to get. But they did have these ones. They had a few other novelty ones as well, so I thought these were really cute. So I hope you managed to pick these up this week, and your store hadn't obviously run out of them, because that can sometimes be the case. The next deal was again very similar to mine. Well, it was the same as mine. This was the Snickers Crispers bar. This was the 1.41 ounce bar. It had to be this bar, not the bigger bar, which I originally picked up, which it looks too big to be true. So it's definitely this smaller bar. This is probably like 4 inches long. So yeah, this is the bar that you want to go for, not the one that's probably like double the size. So the Snickers Crisper bar was on sale for 99 cents. We had a 50-cent coupon from the coupons.com website, which is a digital printable coupon, which obviously the links of everything will be down below as well. I realise this is after the fact that we've been to CVS, but the point of these ones for going shopping with my mother-in-law is just seeing how you can build your inventory up or your stockpile up, beginning couponing. So it's kind of just a look at what you can do rather than doing it in the moment. I think my CVS haul is more for that. This is more for kind of just taking note and seeing, maybe for those people that haven't started yet, what you can actually achieve. So we also received a 25-cent rebate on this product, and that was from checkout 51. That's probably gone now. I think that I double checked the other day and it had already gone. This particular product was a 75-cent extra care book coming back, so that was great. We were getting some extra care books back even though it was 75 cents. So the running total on this was 99 cents. We were getting the 75 cents back in extra care books, so the out of pocket for this was 49 cents. And then if we take those extra care books back and we also take the 25-cent rebate, this is going to be a 51-cent moneymaker, which is perfect because when we take the 51-cent moneymaker from this and the 2-cent moneymaker from that, you've got 53 cents that we can draw back on another product. And you know, if we spent 88 cents out of pocket on this, then that's going to be 53 cents that can maybe go to this product and make it more of like a 30 to 40 cent product rather than an 80-cent product. So I hope you understand like where we can kind of, you know, maybe you wouldn't have picked this up straight away, but knowing that we had other things which had a money maker, it means that this product can be cheaper. It also means if you don't want to pick any other products up and you just purely want money makers to kind of take money back so you can use, you know, more for next week, that's totally fine as well. You've got your options open. Okay, the very last one, like I said, this was going to be a really quick one because there just really wasn't that much to pick up this week in terms for someone that has maybe just started. But again, it depends which products you picked up for the week afterwards. Sorry about that, it's probably bothering you. You know, it depends what you picked up in the weeks prior. It also depends on kind of the randomisation of what coupons you receive in general. So this particular week for my mother-in-law, I did pick up Almay for her. The deal was spend 15 get 5, which again I wouldn't necessarily say was a great deal on Almay. We've had some deals where you spend 12 you get 4. It's probably quite similar to that one. And the only reason I did pick this one up was because she did have 2 coupons which lowered the price dramatically on this. She had a $3 off $15 cosmetics purchase. She also had had a 3 off $9 specific to Almay. She received that coupon last week, but it was actually impractical to use last week because there just wasn't any great deals to make it, you know, worthwhile using. And don't be saddened, I think, if that's what the other thing. If you get a personalised coupon and there's just no way that you can make it work, then don't worry that, you know, oh, you've lost a coupon, you haven't used it. It's better that you didn't use it and save your money than spending it on something that is going to, you know, still be a lot out of pocket. You know, these deals come in circles, so you're going to get that deal again at some point in time, so you're still going to be able to pick it up eventually. So just don't worry that you can't pick it up maybe 1 week and you were originally excited about the coupon. So this particular deal, like I said, we were also getting 5 extra care books back, so this was the only other deal that we were getting any extra care books back. And so this one we want to spend as close to $15 because that's the deal. At my store, and I do want to mention before I actually go on to that, we can apply the 98% rule to this. If you want to know about the 98% rule, check the link out below that I'm going to leave to my entire couponing 101 video on that. You know, you can easily check that out. So we can actually spend $14.70 or over because that is applicable to the 98% rule. Unfortunately, in my store, the prices of Almay were a little bit off, so I don't know whether they were more expensive than usual. They just weren't meeting, you know, being able to get as close to $15 in terms of adding 2 products together. That would have been completely impossible. We were either getting like a $12 total, so buying something else would have put us way over, or the products in general just weren't coming to a price that was perfect for that 98% rule. So I think some products were $14.29 and some products were like $15.99, so there wasn't any medium there. So I did end up picking up something that was $15.99 from this for this particular deal, and that was the Almay CC cream. Was it a CC cream? No, it was the Almay Smart Shade Skin Tone Matching Makeup, which I thought was a little bit different. I don't know whether you can see there because of the light, but this says it's also got SPF 30 in it, sorry, SPF 15, broad spectrum, and this was in the colour medium. It says it's new and improved. It looked a little bit different to the older bottles, so I thought, you know what, let's try it out. So I'll ask my mother-in-law how she finds this and report back to you. But yeah, so this was, I guess it looks so kind of so tiny that it's like that could, you know, like when you see everything together it looks like nothing, but this was actually $15.99, so this product in itself, although it looks insignificant, was actually the most expensive out of everything that we purchased. So yeah, this was $15.99. In my calculations I just put 15 down because I wanted to get as close to that. We were getting 5 extra care books back, so our out of pocket for this was $9.99 and our total was $4.99. So, you know, it's not the best in the world. You know, we could have spent less if we'd have gone to maybe a CVS where there was Almay that was right on the dot, you know, right on that $15 mark. But you've got to work your deals, you know, I guess, as you can. So we spent 99 cents more than we wanted to, but at the end of the day that really isn't that much in the general scheme of things. So in total, what did we spend? Well, my mother-in-law started off with $26 this week in terms of her extra care books. She had $25 worth of extra care books rolled over from last week. She also had a $1 extra care book that came in the mail to her, which was actually from her quarterly fall spend. That was 2% of her quarterly fall spend, which is given to everybody as an extra care book, so a lot of you might have received that this week. So she had $26 in total. The running total for this entire transaction, based on the prices I did in my calculation, obviously you have to take into account CVS in-store prices are a little bit higher, and there's also going to be tax applied as well. So the running total was $28.85 on paper, but will have been a lot more in store. The out of pocket, well, not a lot more, but a little bit more. The out of pocket for everything, once we took all of those coupons off, was $10.35. We received $5.75 worth of extra care books from this deal, and that left us with a total of $4.39. So like I said, that will have been a little bit more just because, like I said, the tax and the price and everything, but we didn't spend anything out of pocket in terms of real money. Let me just show you here. This was 100% savings. I don't know whether you can see here, it says total 00, and then on here it says 100% savings. Like I said here, it says today you saved $30.85, so you can see that in-store prices and tax make a big difference. So yeah, you know, I calculated it was going to be 21, but it was actually 30. But yeah, we spent nothing, and I think, yes, we've still got $19.75 left over for next week, so we did only lose out on just over $5, so that's fantastic. And we are ready to go for next week. So there we go again. This was obviously what prints off at the bottom of your receipt. So we got a $5 one from that Almay, and we got a 75% off one from that Snickers Crisper. Do always make sure, and I say it in my other CVS hauls, always just double check in store to make sure you got all the ECBs that you should have done from your shopping trip. Sometimes I do forget, and it can be quite annoying because then I get home and I realise, you know, I haven't got extra care books for something. Sometimes, you know, you might find it out in store and you might go back to the checkout and you might explain the problem and maybe they just don't understand. That's happened before. They're not willing to give it to you because maybe they don't believe you, or they just don't have enough knowledge about the coupon policy that they probably should do, and so you can maybe still end up not getting it. But please, if that ever happens, don't be saddened. You don't need to refund it just because you're not getting your extra care books. Come home, wait until the next day, calm down, because sometimes I can be flustered. Call CVS on the phone, explain the whole situation. Sometimes you can get kind of confused when you're on the phone because it's kind of real time, I guess. So maybe just write some notes down before you call to make it as easy as possible to say to the person that you're going to get on the phone, just so that they're not confused at all, because confusing matters makes everything worse and then they might get confused about what you're actually going on about. Or you can just contact them via email. They're really good at getting back to you via email, but I think it's within 5 business days. So you know, you can also do that. I also prefer to do that because I'd rather just write everything out, get everything down on paper and send it electronically rather than calling and waiting on hold, maybe possibly speaking to someone who doesn't again understand the issue. So I would just send it straight to the Extra Care helpline via email. I think that's a lot easier. And if I can, I will leave the exact email address below in case you do have any problems like that and you need to address them. I'll at least leave the link for you if I can't find the specific address. And also I think that's a little bit better because you have a form that you fill in prior to actually getting any response, and that's all the information about your receipt, the time you went shopping and everything, you know, your extra care card, and it prevents, I guess, kind of miscommunication over the phone when maybe how you say a specific word or letter or number may be misconstrued and they may hear something else, and then, you know, because I've got an English accent, and believe me, the amount of times I've called somewhere here and they just don't understand me is totally fine, because I realise that I do have a different accent, but it can confuse people, and then it can not only confuse people but it can confuse the situation of what you're trying to get help for. So I definitely recommend just going to the electronic email way if you want. If you are worried about it and you just want to get the problem sorted out there and then I would just kind of call just to make sure, but always double check in the store. You know, that's no harm and you're not going to lose out on doing that. You know, it might work in your favour. Generally it does, but there can be situations where it doesn't, so I just don't get angry about it. I just deal with it and then go home and address it via the support. So that would be my advice to you. So I hope that you have found this haul equally as interesting as the last one. I realise we didn't obviously get anywhere near the amount of stuff in our last haul, but that's okay, you know, we can deal with that. So yeah, I hope this has been beneficial. I hope that you tune into my next CVS haul for my mother-in-law if this is of interest to you, if you're trying to get ideas for starting couponing, that sort of thing. Again, I will also get that initial starter for CVS video up by the latest of next week, and that's just going through how I would initially do a startup transaction. Obviously in that transaction, I don't know whether I mentioned at the beginning, you would be spending a specific amount of money out of pocket, and that's just to get the best, or you know, choosing the best deals so that when you actually go to the shop you are getting the best deals to give you the best extra care books, so when you go the subsequent week you're just paying in extra care books. But we'll get into all of that in that video, so this doesn't get all confusing. So yeah, have a great evening and I will see you then. Bye!